Hey, welcome. I'm your host, Johan, and today we're gonna dig into a topic that honestly we don't talk about enough is taking accountability for our mistakes. Look, we all mess up. We say the wrong thing, make poor decisions, or drop the ball entirely. That's part of being human, but what sets us apart is how we handle those moments. Accountability isn't just about admitting you messed up, it's about repairing relationships, growing as a person, and setting the stage for a healthier and happier future. And here's the kicker: research has shown that people own up to their mistakes tend to have stronger relationships with others and higher levels of trust with those around them. This isn't just a feel good topic, it's something that genuinely impacts our mental health, friendships, and even romantic relationships. By the end of this episode, I hope you feel inspired to take responsibility for your own mistakes and see just how powerful that step can be. Sounds good? Great, let's get into it. First off, you may ask, well, Johan, why taking accountability matters so much? Why can't we just shrug it off and move on with our mistakes? Well, one big reason is trust. Trust is the foundation of all healthy relationships, whether it is with your partner, your friend, or your coworker, and trust crumbles when people feel that you can admit that you're wrong, that you have no sense of accountability. Dr. Breen Brown, an expert on vulnerability and connection, once said, when we deny the story, it defines us. When we own the story, we can write a brave new ending. What she's saying is that owning your mistakes isn't just the right thing to do, it's empowering. When you take responsibility, you're taking control of your growth and your relationships. Here is an interesting statistic for you. According to a 2020 study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, people who apologize sincerely after a conflict are more likely to repair and straighten their relationship. The study found that accountability often leads to better communication and an increase in feelings of closeness. Think about this. The next time you feel like you just want to brush it off or just blame the situation, owning up doesn't just resolve the issue, it can actually deepen your connection with the people around you. Now, aside from external relationships, accountability also has a huge impact on your internal growth, your mental and emotional health. Avoiding accountability may feel easier in the short term, but it creates more stress and guilt over time. Psychologists call this the cognitive dissonance effects. When your actions don't align with your values, it creates a psychological discomfort. That's when that little voice inside your head start acting up and telling you, why didn't you just admit that? You know you can handle that better. Taking accountability can silence that inner critic by aligning your actions with your values. Accountability even boosts your self-esteem. Owning your faults shows maturity and builds confidence in your ability to recover from mistakes. A survey conducted by the American Psychological Association found that 93% of people respect someone more when they admit their mistakes compared to when they shift the blame. Think about that. When you take responsibility, you are not just preserving relationships, you are also earning respect. Okay, so how does accountability play out, let's say in friendships? Here's a scenario that probably we all been through. Say you forgot your best friend's birthday. You didn't call, you didn't send a text, it just slipped your mind. Probably you have a lot of things going on. When they call you on it, you have two options. Option one is to deflect the situation. You say, oh, I've been so busy lately, hoping they will just forget about it. Sure, that may smooth things for now, but a little peace of trust erodes every time you avoid accountability. Option two, you take ownership. You call your friend and say, I'm so sorry I forgot your birthday. I messed up. This one is on me. I value our friendship and I make it right for you. Show accountability. Showing accountability in that moment shows that you actually care. Your friends know that their feelings matter enough for you to step up, even after a mistake. Research has shown that people are twice as likely to forgive a mistake when the offender apologizes than when they don't. Accountable friendships are resilient friendships. Now, let's talk about accountability in relationships. That's a big topic. That's a topic that we can spend hours talking about. Probably in the future, we're going to make another video talking about that. But for now, we're just going to make it really short and precise. That's where the accountability gets even more important and sometimes even harder. How many of us have been in an argument where you knew you were wrong, but you just couldn't bring yourself to say it? I know I have been guilty of that myself. The truth is, accountability is one of the pillars of healthy romantic relationships. Without it, resentment will build over time. And you don't want that happening in your romantic relationship. You gotta make sure that you hold yourself accountable when you have to. Okay, guys, I got you a crazy statistic here. Listen to this. According to a relationship survey by the Gottman Institute, 91% of couples who practice accountability report higher relationship satisfaction compared to couples who don't. 91%, that's a crazy number. But why? Why 91%? Well, this is why. Accountability shows your partner that you are willing to own your part in the conflict rather than pointing fingers and shutting down. Here's a quick example. Let's say you and your partner get into a fight about house chores. You promise to do the dishes but let them sit in the sink for a day and a half. Instead of saying, I didn't do the dishes because you didn't vacuum last week. Accountability means saying, you're right, I dropped the ball. I will make sure it gets done today. A simple sentence like that can diffuse tension and show your partner you respect their feelings and you are willing to work things out. All right, now that we are talking about how accountability matters, the big question is, how do you actually practice it? Here are a few actionable steps you can start with today. Pause before reacting. When someone calls you out on your mistake, resist the urge to explain or defend yourself right away. Take a deep breath, listen to what they're saying, and reflect on their perspective. Own it fully. Avoid phrases like, I'm sorry if you felt that way. That's not accountability. That's deflecting. Instead, say, I'm sorry for what I did. Be specific and ask for a little bit more explanation to understand where the person is coming from. Right the wrong. Accountability doesn't stop with an apology. Follow through with an action. If you're someone asking, how can I make it right for you? Learn from it. You need to learn from your mistakes. Mistakes are things that we always gonna be experiencing in our life because nobody's perfect. But if you take ownership and actively learn from them, you're turning those mistakes into stepping stones for personal growth. Please, this is very important. You need to create a culture of accountability. Surround yourself with people who value honesty and accountability. If your circle includes people who avoid responsibility, it is easier to slip into those negative habits yourself. Accountability takes courage, but it's one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself and the people around you. People respect it, relationships grow from it, and you're better because of it. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode today. If today's conversation resonates with you, share with someone who may need to hear this. And please don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode in the future. All right, guys, until next time, and remember, you are not defined by your mistakes, but you are defined by how you rise after them. With that being said, guys, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.